It doesn't matter if it's a double, treble, cocked hat double, or even something we've never seen before. We're looking for the cheekiest of the year. Not necessarily the best double, but definitely the cheekiest. Jamie Clark took the win in 2022 with this shot that saw him qualify for Sheffield. So who's going to be the 2023 winner? To find out, as usual, I'm going to be recreating all of these shots as accurately as possible and then playing them in the fewest possible attempts. And we begin with Judd at the English Open, who's just won the tournament and is looking to finish off the match with a century break. Unfortunately, Judd's just snookered himself on the yellow, so has to find another solution to be able to pot it. It went in without touching the sides and the camera technician simply couldn't keep up with it. So let's find out just how difficult this one is to play. It's not too difficult to get close, but getting the yellow to drop is going to require a small amount of fortune. This shot should do quite well because no one really saw what Judd was going to play here, and although the frame wasn't live, it still looked really impressive in the clearance. I've got it, so for the first time this year I'm sending you over to the chiliometer for the scores. This Yuan Sijun shot from the Welsh Open shows it's not all about technical difficulty, as he plays this risky shot really confidently here to get himself back in position against Stephen Maguire. He then goes on to win the frame and match and makes it all the way through to the quarterfinals before losing out to Sean Murphy. Yuan played this shot really slowly, which actually makes it pretty difficult, and the fact that he got this and then cleared up to win the match makes it even better. This is what we're talking about when we say a cheeky double. Even though I got the double on my second attempt, I wasn't happy with the position of the cue ball as I'd overrun it and hadn't finished on a colour, so I'm trying again here to see if I can get it right. My fourth attempt has done it as I finished in position on a colour, but what's the score going to be? This Luca Brecel shot from the Shanghai Masters is bound to score highly because it's a difficult shot, he plays it at a critical time during the final, and no one really saw it coming. I need to stun this in to avoid the double kiss, and even doing that it looks completely impossible to send the black towards the pocket without contacting the white for the second time, but it definitely is on as my second shot showed. In fact, I very nearly trebled it on that attempt, and I think the fact that the shot doesn't even look on is going to improve its score even further. Luca was trying to stun the cue ball to the cushion, but who knows where the black would have gone if it missed. After making a high enough break against Junhui to win the match, Ronnie tried to get into the reds and failed, and that's how he ended up in this awkward position, so tried again on this double. However, he still failed to get into the reds off this and finally managed to off the next yellow. Unfortunately, this one might not do so well as the match was already over and Ronnie missed the cannon on the pack of reds coming back up the table. The only thing it's really got going for it is it didn't look like Ronnie had a shot on here and he seemed to pull it out of nowhere. Annoyingly, I have cannoned the pack of reds there, which is bound to lower my recreation score. Zhang pulled the shot off in the International Championship final despite not being able to see the red. Technically this is a fluke, but also technically this is a double, and he potted a really good pink for the 100 and narrowly avoiding the cannon, so I'm giving him this one. As you can see though, the red's just far enough away from the cushion that it makes it really difficult to line the shot up. I can't really tell the difference here between the shots that I'm hitting it too thick and the ones I'm hitting it too thin. Although I'm hoping it's not going to be one of those shots where I'm looking for the perfect angle and it just goes on forever. But it's looking like it might do, so I should probably finish off explaining what happened in the rest of the tournament, where Zhang ended up winning the final here after narrowly losing out to Judd in a previous tournament, and I've finally got the shot so we can move on. Mark Selby was able to get this double at the Players' Championships to prevent Shaun Murphy from playing on for Snookers. Despite this, Shaun was playing too well to be beaten in this match and eventually went on to win the tournament. This shot's going to be difficult to get right because it's tight under the cushion and it's a length of the table double, but other than that I'm not sure it's going to score too highly because it's the sort of shot you normally play in this situation anyway. When I've played these shots in the past, I've got them 1 in 3, but that was with my hand on the table, so the fact that I'm under the cushion might make it a little bit harder. Although I've seemed to have got it already, which again isn't going to help it score. Kyren Wilson used his cross double in the Tour Championship final to keep the break going after he ran out of position. Despite this, however, Shaun Murphy still ended up beating him 10-7. What makes this one awkward, other than having to cue out of the jaws of the pocket, is it looks like the blue's in the way. But as you can see here, I clearly missed the shot low, so I've just got to adjust it a little bit to get it right, and it went in after 2 attempts, which is pretty good, I think. After losing out to that shot from Jamie Clark last year in the World Championship qualifiers, this year I thought we'd give Greame Dott a chance. This is a relatively straightforward shot, but he plays it well and gets him nicely back in position. However, he ends up losing 10-6, meaning he ended up losing this frame as well. He does, however, get something for attacking rather than just playing safe. I'm not too sure what Luca Brecel was trying here at the World Championships, but it certainly looked good, so I wanted to have a go myself, but I wasn't too sure if I could create the same sort of chaos with the pink and the white. But let's see what happens. I think this both loses and gains in this format because Luca was just giving it a whack and hoping for the best. And it seems to be difficult to hit it both thin enough and hard enough at the same time. The other thing I'm struggling with here is trying to remember which pocket it went in. I'm pretty sure it's the one that's closest to me, but I could be wrong. But I hope not, because that means I'd have to play it again. Annoyingly, I've just missed the pink here and ended up getting the shot, so it wasn't bad in the end, but just didn't get the cannon. This double from Junhui at the 6 Reds World Championships made a huge difference in the context of his match against Ronnie O'Sullivan, and as Ding went on to win the tournament, you could say this was a crucial shot. Pretty simple, but definitely not unmissable. I don't think Ronnie expected Ding to take this one on, so it's a pretty cheeky way of winning the frame. This shot from Judd at the British Open is a bit of an exhibition shot, so it's bound to score highly, as he didn't really need to screw the cue ball on and off the cushion, but it definitely looked good. And getting shots to look good is exactly how you succeed in this video, so expect this one to score quite highly. And expect it to do a little bit better again, because I'm struggling to find the right angle here, and it's not as obvious as it looks. That said, however, it's yet another shot that's being played at a time where the frame, and in this case the match, are already over. I've cued this one really well and I'm pretty happy with where the white's ending up, so expect a good recreation score. Barry Hawkins wasn't even attempting the double in the European Masters here, but that doesn't really matter in the context of the video. What matters is he got it, and he ended up beating Judd and making it all the way through to the final. This was difficult to set up, and even after a lot of deliberation, I still think I've given myself a bit too much angle here. And because of that, I've played it a little bit too slow to try and control the white, and the pink stopped agonisingly close to the pocket. So from my second attempt onwards, I've pushed the pink up the table just a little bit, and it seems to be working a lot better. This is going to score a little higher because Ken Doherty got this shot for the frame in the British Open. However, he ended up losing the match 4-3. This is very similar to the Ding Junhui shot from earlier, so you'd expect me to get close with my first attempt, but agonisingly it hasn't quite gone in, and I've got to make the correction. And unfortunately that isn't always easy to do straight away, but I have got it eventually, and 3 attempts is pretty good, I suppose. This shot from Stuart Bingham is almost certainly another one that a player didn't attempt, but it certainly went in and gave Stuart good position on the brown. However, Stuart went on to lose the frame after he failed to get in position on the blue and ended up losing the match. So not a lot went right about this one other than this one shot, but if I was Stuart I wouldn't be worried about it because it's very unlikely that even this shot is going to go right for me, and after my first couple of attempts I don't seem to be getting anywhere near the double. The problem is recreating shots like this isn't a perfect system, because I could and have in the past played shots that are almost impossible and got them straight away, more by luck than anything else, and then followed it up with a lot of easier shots that just refuse to go in. This one certainly isn't easy, but I'm also not getting anywhere near it. So at least from my point of view, this shot at least appears to be reasonably difficult, and that's sure to make it score a little bit higher. And thankfully I've found the right angle and it's gone in. At the Wuhan Open, Wu Yeezy thought he had Judd trumped safe, but Judd had other ideas, as he managed to make this cross double, which is bound to score higher because Judd ended up winning the tournament, and also this shot came a bit out of the blue. What this shot has going for it is everybody, including the commentators, were expecting a lengthy safety battle, and Judd just ended the frame right away. My first attempt went a little bit high, but I've managed to correct it here, and actually get the white into a pretty similar place. Instead of just podding this black down the cushion in the German Masters, Tom Ford decided to play the cocked hat double, which is bound to make it score higher because it's an unnecessary shot. He also made it all the way through to the final of this tournament. The shot itself, however, looks like you need to strike the black almost impossibly thin, but I've nearly nailed it on my first attempt. My second attempt's even better, but still doesn't quite go in, and I went in off, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. All I've got to do is find the right angle, which I probably would have done except for that double kiss. So I've got to try and change up what I do a little bit, because if I get the black on target with the pocket, the cue ball's coming round and getting in the way. So I'm playing the shot now with slightly less side spin, which gets the cue ball out the way and the black goes in. We've got a Stan Moody shot coming up right after we find Tommy, who's in Dormsland in the United Kingdom, which is there. Stan manages to double the red back through the gap here towards the corner pocket and get it to go in at quite a tight angle. This is going to be a difficult one to recreate as there's not really that much pocket to go at. I'm just going to have to hit it in the right direction and hope for the best. And luckily it's gone in. But how well is it going to score? The balls were in really awkward positions for Judd at the Champion of Champions, but despite that he managed to get this double and eventually go on to make the clearance, which included the ridiculous yellow round 2 cushions, which you chose as your shot of the year. Either way, Judd had to make this double first, so let's see how difficult this one is. Similar to a shot I had earlier, it's another draggy one, and I seem to be struggling to get the right angle when I'm playing it like this. I definitely need to hit this shot thinner and harder, but for whatever reason I just can't seem to do either one of those things and keep missing it a little bit thick. This was such a confident and awkward shot to take on, it's definitely going to score highly. I hit it a little bit too hard in the end, but it's about right. So to the results, but first you chose this yellow from Judd Trump as your shot of the year, with almost twice as many votes as any other. Third place goes to Sijun. Definitely not the most difficult shot on this list, but because of what he got out of it, definitely one of the cheekiest. Second place goes to Judd Trump with this yellow, as it was technically one of the best shots on this list. But the outright winner is Luca Brecel with this black. It happened at a crucial time, nobody really saw it coming, and it's a pretty difficult shot. Luca Brecel has played the cheekiest double of 2023. So that's the end of Break from Life in 2023. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back again next year. But if you can't wait for next year, then why not have a look at these two videos containing the best shots of 2023. Now I've gone and spoiled the result for you. And remember, don't just watch, play, and make the commitment to becoming a better player by subscribing to the channel and visit the website. See you next year.